Hi everybody, and welcome to VodCast number 4 for Honors Biology at Desert Ridge High School. Today we're going to start talking about the nervous system. The nervous system is one of our most important body systems. If you recall from our previous discussion regarding levels of organization, you know that body systems consist of organs, and organs are made of tissues, and tissues are made of cells. And we're going to be talking about the nervous system at all of those different levels. But today I'm going to start off with just a very brief introduction. So this is an introduction to the nervous system. As I said before, there won't be any display of the table of contents, so you want to be sure that you get all of that information into your notebook as we're getting started here. But I'm going to start off with just a couple of pictures to show you and a little video clip just to kind of introduce the topic. The nervous system is very interesting to talk about because it helps us to understand images like this. If you've never seen this picture before, you might want to pause the player for just a moment so that you can take a minute to look at this picture. There are actually two different ways of seeing this particular image. Many people, when they first look at it, they see a very pretty young girl who is looking away. We see the left side of her face and the back side of her neck. But then other people, the first time they see it, they see kind of an ugly old witch whose face is turned to her right, and we're seeing her with she has a great big nose and a big wart on her nose, and kind of an ugly old witch looking lady. You may see one of these, or you may be able to switch your frame of reference back and forth and actually be able to see both of them. The important thing to understand, though, is that the picture, of course, is not changing. What's changing is your perception. And we've talked about observations and inferences, and another way of saying this is that the observation is not changing. What's changing is the inference that your brain is making out of the visual information coming into your brain. Your brain is an inference-making machine, and so what your brain is doing is trying to make sense out of this conflicting information. So you may look at this, and once you see once you're able to see both of the different types of pictures, you will notice that it kind of changes back and forth. Okay, another interesting thing about the nervous system, and I'm going to bring in three friends to help me illustrate this. At this point, I think it's a good idea to get your parents out of the room because I'm going to be showing some pictures that probably are not really, I really shouldn't be showing to children. So you really ought to get your parents out of the room first before I show the next set of pictures. And of course, the three friends that I'm talking about are none other than Larry, Moe, and Curly, the Three Stooges. I don't know what you thought I was going to show, but these are the guys that are going to give us a nice illustration of the nervous system.
Wait a minute. What am I doing? You know I get dizzy in high places.
You're dizzy in low places. Get up there.
No!
Well, that is an absolutely perfect example of the nervous system in action. What you just saw, of course, besides Moe getting a big thing thrown on his foot, was a message that had to travel from his foot up through his spinal cord up to his brain, and the pain was actually registered in his brain. And the next thing that happened, that had to happen, was his brain had to then send a message down through his spinal cord and out to the various muscles of his legs and arms to bring his foot up where he could react to the pain. So there's several things happening. As I said, there's first messages coming from pain receptors in his foot up to his brain, and then messages from his brain down to the various muscles so that he can do his reaction. Okay, so from that back to our diagram of the nervous system, this basically gives us an overview of all the things that we're going to be talking about as we begin to study the nervous system. First of all, what the nervous system is it's an organ system that carries messages between sense organs. Sense organs are things like your eyes, your ears, your taste buds on your tongue, your touch receptors on the various parts of your body. So it carries messages between these sense organs and your brain, and then carries messages from your brain out to most other muscles and organs of the body. Okay, that's what the nervous system does. Now, if we look at this a little closer, what we'll see is that the nervous system is really broken down into two main parts. On your right, you see in orange something which we call the central nervous system, and then on the left, the diagram on the left is something called the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system, there are two main organs that make up the central nervous system, the brain and the spinal cord. These are both organs of the nervous system. These are the major organs that make up the central nervous system. Incidentally, you don't need to draw those entire diagrams. All you really need is the words here that I'm presenting here. The peripheral nervous system is also made of, breaks down further into two parts. We have what are called sensory neurons. Neurons are nerve cells that carry information from the sense organs towards the brain. And then we have something called motor neurons that bring commands from the brain out to the muscles. So every time you move a muscle, whether you're writing in a notebook or you're playing a sport or you're playing a musical instrument, whatever you do that causes a muscle to move, the command to move that muscle originates in your brain. And we'll be seeing some details about how that actually works as we go forward. Okay? So this pretty much wraps up what we're going to do as far as an introduction to the nervous system. All I want you to know at this part is the difference between these two different halves of the nervous system, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. And what we'll be talking about in coming podcasts are functions of different parts of the brain, as well as some details of how those neurons work. One of the things I'd like you to look at is this gentleman right here, and see if you can remember this guy. We'll be seeing some other videos in the coming days, and the next time you see this guy, I want you to be able to remember him. So just kind of look at that smiling happy face and that big bright red bow tie, and the next time you see him, you might recognize him, and if you do, then that will we'll be talking about that particular example. Okay, on that note, I'm going to wrap it up here. This is Mr. Galladay, and this has been VodCast 4 for Honors Biology at Desert Ridge High School, and I hope you have a great day.